that. So if I see somebody who I see, has a lot of potential and has a chance to keep them from, you know, basically being able to be corrected at this opportunity and not come back, I try to take them under my wing. As you see, I have a lot of resources and a lot of family that love me, and they've even, asked me like, hey, is there anybody in there who doesn't have somebody like that, who, could we send them some money, like, anything like that. So I've tried to, be a vessel for God to pour over my blessings into those around me.
We heard from Mr. Benoska, who said that, in prison that there is opportunities at times to be a mentor, or do orientations and peer-to-peer things like that. Is that something that you'd be interested in doing?
Of course, I definitely want to, try my absolute best to course correct anybody from falling down a path that they don't have to take, especially the youth. I feel like that's my calling that God has put on my heart to, you know, be a mentor to the youth and be a positive influence in this world.
Um,
So, guys, this boy lived a very good life, by the way. I don't think, I don't think if anyone like you could lead this kind of life and then just mess up with it that way, you know? Like, what did he lack? Sean Gathright was living a good life, like totally a good life. But I'm just surprised that he ended up in this situation. Hmm? What was he even thinking? You see, that one is not a good idea. That one is not something that you should brag around with. Hmm? This guy was living a good life. Had parents, he traveled. eh? He was doing aeroplanes, traveling from one country to another. But now you see he's going to prison for the rest of his life. Anyway, he's lucky he was not put on the death penalty or death row, but he's going to serve in prison. He's aged 20, 22, I think, 22, if I'm not wrong. But now see what is happening, man. Hey, what the fuck? Let's continue.
what about those
Now
relationships, like you said, you have?
you see this one is his mother, the one you're seeing here, right here. This one is his mother. And you know what? You need to live a good life because this could be your mother one day. This one. This one is Sean Gathright's mother. And as I tell you, live a good life. Live good with other people. Please, live good with other people. There's no need for you to have chaos, to rush, to fight, to steal, to kill. You may make your family end up like this one, you know. And then also, he's in your videos, we should be showing people. When someone goes to prison, we need to show them. These are kind of the scenarios you need to show the other youths that it is not good to commit a crime because you're going to be separated from your family, like for good. Mm. She's crying. Let's see.
A lot of people. Are you able to maintain those relationships now?
Yeah, so I mean, everybody who I, maintain a relationship with wasn't able to all be here today or, even testify. But, I talk to them daily, weekly, bi-weekly. I have, I cherish my supporters very deeply, and I want to maintain a relationship with them for the rest of my life.
And I know, we're not going to talk about the case itself, right? But you said that you were taking accountability, you felt remorseful. Tell us what you mean by that and what statement you want to make.
To the victim's family, I want to send my deepest condolences and you know, I understand that it's hard losing a child, a best friend, a brother, a cousin, and for that I just cannot say sorry enough. I feel terrible about the situation, but I'm a firm believer that God can use anything for good that the devil wants it for bad. And so I am grateful for the people I've met, for the lessons that I've learned, for just this experience in general, because it's one that I'll never forget, and it's going to shape the rest of my life.
Sounds like
Now, guys, you see, just a quick one. I'm just wondering, like, this guy is right now very remorseful, but at the time he was taking the life of Julio Fulio, he was feeling nothing. Like, I'm just wondering, what really happens with this society of ours? What is wrong? Hmm? What is wrong? He's sending condolences to the family, yes, but now their beloved one is no longer there. Hmm? Their beloved one is no longer there. What do you expect now? Hmm? What do you expect? Hmm? Let me tell you guys, crime can never pay. In fact, crime brings you to chaos. Crime will always bring you to chaos. There's no peace in committing crime. Totally no peace. You either end up in jail or you end up in jail or where, you know, things can't be happening that way. You can't just harm people and you walk away with it. Mm. So this guy has brought stress to the mother, stress to the father, stress to the family members, stress to, like stress everywhere. Mm. Stress everywhere. That is very wrong. Mm. That is very wrong. Very, very wrong. Let's continue.
there's that saying, it's kind of cheesy, but you make lemons out of lemonade or whatever. Make lemonade out of lemons.
Lemonade out of lemons.
Somehow, I obviously don't make lemonade, but it sounds to me like you are going to try and make the best of a bad situation. Does that sound about right?
Of course.
And are you going to continue to do that?
Of course. I'm going to try to, you know, continue a humble life, a righteous life, try to do the right things at all times, and, you know.
Will you apprise yourself? We've heard about some, courses and programs and things that you can get involved with to stay busy in prison. Is that something that you plan to do?
Yeah, so hearing Raul's testimony was, the first glimpse that I have of, what prison it could be like. I want to stay as busy as possible, stay away from bad apples. I want to, like, keep a job, get into programs, try to get into any vocational things I can do, try to, keep my record clean.
Guys, I think some people are just unlucky. Have you ever considered or asked yourself why sometimes you work so hard but you don't succeed? Like things are not just getting your way? Yeah, I think that one is applying here. This guy has everything. In fact, this is the second time he will be going to prison. You know? Mm.
To go to the best incentivized things and have visits with my family, and I just want to just stay out the way. I just want to make everything peaceful as can be.
Even knowing that you're not getting out of prison, you want to make the best of your stay there?
Let's look at the mother. Mhm. Oh, right
I
there.
appreciate it.
Yes,
So,
sir. Towards the more recent years,
mhm.
I didn't have that one-on-one and very close relationship with those male role models in my life. You heard my stepfather say, after the divorce,
I did hear that, Mr. Chance. Let me stop you,
Mr.
okay,
Gathright.
and go back to my question. I'm sorry?
Mr. Gathright.
I'm sorry, I keep calling you that, Mr. Gathright. Um, Let me go back to what you said earlier. Between 16 and 18, You didn't have a male role model? Is that what you're telling the jury?
I'm not saying I didn't have any male role models, but day to day, young men need strong.
That's not what I
influence.
asked. I asked if you had a male role model between 16 and 18.
I had a figure that I could go to, but not intimately.
Mr. Edwards, right?
Yes, sir.
He had stayed in contact with you even when you graduated into high school, correct?
Yes, sir. We definitely maintained a relationship, but
And he
it
seemed to
wasn't.
be pretty enthusiastic about that, right?
Yes, sir.
In
Yes,
fact,
sir.
you went on a cruise with him at some point, did you not?
Yeah, when I was younger, yes, we had
Okay.
a very close relationship.
And then from what you're saying, if I understand it right, the females, I'm assuming you're talking about your grandmothers and your mom
Uh,
stepped into the gap?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was grandmother's mother, sister.
So
Those
let
my
me
girls.
see if I got this right. When you were being brought up, and you were being brought up by a mother who was enlisted or an officer in the military, an officer, wasn't she?
I don't know exactly what her rank is. I know she was a sergeant.
But in the Marine Corps.
Yes, sir.
You see, the mother smiles, but that smiles ends in crying. The mother smiles, but that smile ends in crying. Hey man, where did we go wrong? Hmm? Just look at her. Hmm? Look at her.
She was in the Marine Corps.
All right. And then you had a stepfather.
Man, be careful. Let this one not be your mother, man, next time. Let your mother not start crying because you committed a crime and you're going to prison forever. You see, it's good to go to prison for 2 years, 3 years, maybe 5 years. That is something understandable. But going to prison for good, you only live while in a body bag. Hmm? You only live while in a body bag. That is very bad. Hmm? That is very, 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 very bad. You see, let me tell you something, guys. Let us be source of happiness to our parents, to our family members. Let us be source of happiness. Don't bring them trouble. Don't bring them joy. Don't bring them bad things that you may think. Just don't bring them. Don't be the source of stress to your family members, especially your parents and your close sisters and brothers. We understand maybe the other relatives, extended one, may not be having your interest at heart, but now the close ones, you need to be careful.
Who was in the Air Force, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was in
From
Air
the time
Force.
you were 3 all the way up to when
The father and the mothers were in Air
they
Force.
divorced in 2020.
Yes, sir.
All right. They taught you right from wrong, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we
Of
heard
course.
that from your
Yes, sir.
grandmother,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yeah. Of course. Yes, sir.
Miss Lyle. She told us the same thing.
Right.
They brought you up in the church. They taught you about the Ten Commandments. They
Mm.
taught you about right from wrong, did they not?
They did.
All right. And they were excellent role models about living your life in a disciplined, honest, and right way, correct? And being
Yes.
law-abiding, correct?
They really didn't have to worry about me.
Well, let me just answer my question. Would you agree with what I'm telling you? That they were excellent role models of
Yes.
how to live a moral life?
Yes, sir. They definitely instilled the foundation.
May I have one moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
I have nothing else, Your Honor.
Okay, be ready.
So, guys, basically, what I want to tell you is
Mr.
that you
Gathright,
need to be
despite
careful.
living,
Let us not
I can drink
be
it.
this kind of people that ends
Despite
up
having what
destroying
you called a
our own
blessed
family.
upbringing, you still find yourself here today, right?
Unfortunately.
Where you had lived, we heard about Mississippi, and was Jacksonville?
As I have said, guys, we need to be careful. We need to make sure that we are living a good life so that we don't, we don't mess up with other people's life. Because if we do, things may not be good at all from our side. So, basing on this fact that this guy This guy, our guy, eh? This guy, our guy, messed up somewhere in his life and is going to prison for that. I think, guys, you need to just consider this, that the prison is not a safe place for anyone. Prison has never been a safe place to anyone. So, as you move around, as you talk, as you reach out to people, make sure you're telling people to stop messing around with others. Thank you very much, and make sure, guys, you hit subscription button before you leave or after watching this video. Until next time we meet again.